Okay, so this video is in desperate need of a remake. If it appears that this video is a little bit outdated because it's an old topic, I agree. I actually planned to make this video like almost a year ago, but I've been so lazy. However, to make it feel a little bit less outdated, I will be showing one article that's only 2 weeks old. So that should help quite a bit. The article in question is this one, but we're going to talk about it at the end because we got to build up to it, you know what I mean? So a couple of videos to reference, of course, on similar topics is this one I made, George Floyd and Truth About Black-White Victims. Great video. I talk about real statistics that people love to ignore and everything. Watch it. It relates to this video. Another one is called Black Privilege Strikes Yet Again, where I talk about how black people have far more privileges than white people do. Despite what the media and school has taught you, because they're lying to you, white people do not have more privileges. There's a reason why black people can commit crimes and be called victims. The reason why black people can riot and have it called a protest, but if a white person protests, it's called a riot just because they have white skin, and all that other shit. In this video, we talk about Jussie Smollett and a few other things as well. You guys all remember Jussie Smollett, right? I mean, how could you fucking forget him? But anyway, so let's get right into it. We're going to reference, not my whole video, of course, because that's the whole point of a remake, but one thing I said in the video. So basically, some of you might recall from like 2017, 2018, basically BLM was going nuts, being like, oh, cops are always going after us just for being black and everything, and as factually untrue as that is, they started demanding that police wear body cams to show how awful and violent cops are, right? So, in response, of course, this is what I said in the video. Defund the police. Okay, let's do that then. Let's see how fucking well that works out. Back in December, Minneapolis to shift $8 million from police budget amid defund the police movement. Okay. And then just a couple days ago, Minneapolis resident, city council has blood on their hands for defunding the police. No. Are you telling me that what we've been saying since May, that defunding the police doesn't work and is actually counterproductive, was proven to be an accurate assessment? Oh, no. There's just no way. Fucking hell, man. A Minneapolis resident and business owner said Tuesday that members of the Minneapolis City Council have blood on their hands due to the increases in crime after the city's police budget was cut in the wake of George Floyd's death. So, of course, you know, the typical hypocrisy. So, what BLM wanted was to have body cams put on the police to show how horrible they are, and to also defund the police because they're so horrible. And then because there were less cops on the street because they've been defunded, which of course decreases their ability to stop crime and decreases the amount of cops on the road in general. So in Minneapolis, and of course other places as well where this was put into place, it wasn't just Minneapolis, obviously, crime rapidly increased, and then they started blaming the cops by saying they have blood on their hands. Like, what the fuck? Even though you literally asked for this, right? The irony. So, I mean, at the time, right, BLM was demanding that police had body cams. But what happened was, and of course this is what makes it so funny, is that, so what happened was, BLM said, cops are horrible. Make them wear body cams. Then, all the black people who were committing crimes and being resistive or being violent were shown on the body cams that they literally fucking asked for, and cops were able to debunk their claims because when this happened, there was a tsunami, okay, an influx of black people with their typical victim complexes saying, oh, the cop is being racist towards me, he's racial profiling me, he's trying to assault me, he's trying to arrest me on no grounds. And then the cops said, okay, well, here's my body cam. And then they were all debunked. And there were hundreds of these cases. I'm only going to show you two, obviously. So the first one I'm going to show you is, of course, this one. This is one example of a body camera that was released after the NAACP president claimed that he was being racially profiled. The body camera footage showed that he wasn't, and his case was thrown out. Another example is this woman here who was stopped by a cop. The VA Sheriff's Office releases the body cam footage of her. She claimed that the cop was being racist. It turns out that, again, they weren't. What a shock. And then, now again, that's only 2 examples, but I've seen hundreds. Trust me on this. I'm not fucking making this up. I have no reason to. And because of that, then they started saying, oh, well, actually, the body cam footage is now it's now threatening our civil rights. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, let me translate for you. What that actually means is that by threatening civil rights, what they actually mean is that black people are now threatened that they can no longer commit crimes without being caught by the body cameras. And then they started claiming that the body cams were racist. So first, it was cops who are racist, and we need body cams to prove it. Now that reality has set in, and body cams are now catching black people resisting arrest and being violent, etc., now they say to take away the body cams because they threaten the civil rights of black and brown people. Fucking amazing, right? I mean, what can you really say? And we all know the stats. People can deny it. The media will deny it, of course, because black people have to be victims of everything. But they make up only about 13 to 15% of the U.S. population, but commit almost 56% of all the crimes. These are stats that people will obviously continue denying, but you shouldn't if you have even an ounce of rare sense. Moving on from that, though, it does get so much better. Here's a couple of videos I've saved for a while.
If somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that person eats.
So of course BLM, as usual, saying that robbing a store is perfectly fine because we're black. We're allowed to.
Make sure that person has clothes. That's reparations. Anything.
Reparations. I don't even want to get into reparations, but every single person with an ounce of logic knows that it is completely ridiculous to demand millions of dollars per black person in the United States. Reparations is literally just them demanding special treatment, is what it actually is, if you can read between the lines.
Thing they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance. They're going to get their money back. My people aren't getting anything.
Oh, so robbery's okay as long as the store you steal from has insurance. Okay. Now we're getting a few examples of different cases, like the Philadelphia looting, large crowds were breaking into Foot Locker, Apple, Lululemon. So Macy's had to close a few locations because of it. Nike permanently closes their Portland location. Target closed 9 stores because of violence and theft, obviously. CVS closed 900 stores by the end of this year, actually. Kind of ironic that I'm remaking the video now, but yeah, the end of 2024. They're going to be closing. Rite Aid closed 400 to 500 stores in bankruptcy due to theft. Unprecedented theft contributed to $112 billion in retail losses. If that's not enough, let me show you another example.
Columbia Heights neighborhood being repeatedly targeted by thieves. Now the shelves are bare and empty.
Thefts all across these stores caused them to be completely empty. And that's why there was also an influx of the stores that do exist, locking up their products and stuff like that.
Look here, when you walk into this CVS, you think the store is closing because there's barely anything on the shelves. In fact, the only items in stock are the ones that are locked up.
It makes me not want to shop there, to be honest. I go and get my prescription, and then when I need other things, I go elsewhere.
A big group of kids, like 45 or more, walk in before school, after school, and late at night to steal chips and drinks. They even throw the food and beverages on the ground. And
okay, so there you go. So for the people who are going to say, yeah, but it's okay for black people to steal because they just need food to feed their families. Right. What about the ones who go there to not just steal, but also just cause damage? Like, this relates so much to when people were excusing BLM. Remember when people were saying shit like, well, their BLM is destroying cities because it sends a message. Okay. So first of all, that's not even true. But even if it was true, does that also excuse when they break into Best Buy and run out with TVs? Like, it's just... Stop thinking that it's just because they deserve it or they need it. It's something important. They're doing it to benefit themselves.
stomp on them. Thieves are aware of when new shipments come in, and that's when they target the store. Street vendors are allegedly paying people to go in and steal stuff so they can resell it. We did notice street vendors selling toothbrushes, men and women body wash, car fresheners, as well as laundry and cleaning supplies, which are some of the same items no longer available at CVS. DC residents we spoke with actually expressed sympathy towards the people wiping out the aisle.
It's bad to do. At the same time, they're probably doing it for a reason. They need those things, but
Well, that's not the only reason, girl, but anyway. Stay ignorant.
they shouldn't just be going in and clearing the shelves because this isn't sustainable.
We can't afford any of the things in there. I'm not saying that stealing has to be the solution to that, right?
Of course, he's excusing it.
However, I don't know if the city could provide more accessible resources to unhoused or under-income folks that can provide them like hair care, bodily care, hygiene care, etc. That could be an option.
Amazing. And here's one more for you.
Have such a good toilet paper deal this week. Like, I've never been so excited to wipe my butt.
So if you're excited about wiping your butt too, head on down to CVS. So what is going on is this week at CVS, when you spend $20 on select Cottonelle, Scott, or Kleenex products, we're going to get back a $5 extra care. Now the Cottonelle smaller packages are on sale 2 for $10. Now as I mentioned, these are 2 for $10 this week. So your total at the register before anything happens is going to be $20 even plus your tag, leaving you to pay $17.50 out of pocket.
Amazing, right? So, I mean, for those of you who are now wondering, well, why was all this stuff happening with stores? Why was theft going so crazy even when it was not related to a BLM riot? Well, there was a lot of reason for that, too. A couple years ago, we saw a new law put into place. Now, I'm not sure which states had the law or still have it today. At the time, I mostly saw it being talked about in California. Obviously, being California. They had released a law. Now, I don't have any videos to prove this, and I'm sorry. I've seen, like, over 50 videos, but at the time we make this video, I cannot find them anymore. I apologize, but I assure you what I'm saying is true. I've seen the videos with my own eyes, okay? Basically, so the law was if people are stealing under $1,000 worth of products, they were literally allowed to steal and walk out of the store, and the employees couldn't go after them for the theft, as long as they stole under $1,000. What a genius law, right? So I saw like 50 videos of people in the store filming it. People, primarily a race that you know which race it is, would walk in, steal like handfuls worth of products, and then just walk to their car, and that was it. So obviously, we know which race of people that was benefiting, which race of people was primarily doing that. We know that these situations are the reason why all of these stores ended up going bankrupt, why they ended up locking up the product if they weren't bankrupt, and why all this shit happens. It's amazing. And again, these are privileges that a certain race of people have that my race doesn't have. I'm so sick of just in general hearing about white privilege when we literally have no privileges that black people don't already have. Plus, they have even more privileges that I don't have. Do you think that I can just riot as a white person? No. I can only protest as a white person, like at the trucker convoy or January 6th, and even then I'm called, like what? A Nazi? Whereas a black person can burn down cities, cause $2 billion in damage, and be called peaceful protesters. Oh, sorry. Fiery but peaceful protesters, right? That's a privilege, whether if you want to admit to it or not. But yeah, I mean, so that's everything. I mean, that's why, initially why they wanted to defund the police and have body cam footage on the police, and then when they showed the body cam footage because black people were resisting arrest or being violent or driving away or whatever, then they claimed that the body cams were racist because it showed the truth, and they wanted to defund police, which led to more crime, and then this with the stores. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the amount of things that have happened over the years since SJW culture began, and yet people are still in denial and blame white people for all of it. Amazing, right? Now, for the finale of this video, we're going to look at the most recent article. Sheetz, I don't know, we don't have this in Canada, but it's a gas station chain, I guess. They were accused of racial discrimination in its hiring process. Oh no, Sheetz was racist and wasn't hiring people for having black skin? Or were they? Let's read the article and find out. Was Sheetz not hiring black people because they're black? Or was it for a different reason? On April 17th, just last week, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed a lawsuit. Oh, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is the one who filed the lawsuit. I hope they didn't fuck up. Against Sheetz, alleging the gas station and convenience store chain violated federal law by denying employment to a class of job applicants because of their race. How dare they? The lawsuit says Sheetz, which operates over 600 locations in 6 states, disproportionately screened out Black and Native American and multiracial applicants entirely. But why? Is it because their skin wasn't white? Or is it for a more factual reason like it always fucking is? Sheetz has maintained a long-standing practice of screening all job applicants for records of criminal conviction! So, no, it had nothing to do with their skin color. It had to do with the fact that a certain race of people tends to have a higher population with a criminal record. Now, before the morons start saying, well, criminal record checks are racist. No, you brain-damaged fuck. It's not my fault that a certain race of people commits more crimes and therefore has a criminal record. That's not my fault. That's not Sheet's fault. That's not reality's fault. That's not the fault of statistics. Okay? That's the fault of the people committing the crimes, and they happen to have a police record because of it. There are many jobs and careers that require a police check. I'm so sorry. You know, my job, I work in nursing. My job requires a police check. Do you think if I had a criminal record, I could work in the healthcare industry? No, I couldn't, and yet my skin is white. So criminal record checks are not... It's not like criminal record checks are only given to black people. I've had a criminal record check. In fact, I've been working in healthcare for 11 years, so I've actually had 5 criminal record checks in the last 11 years. I have to do it for my job, and so do many other fucking people. It doesn't matter if my skin is black, white, brown, green, whatever. We have to get a police check because certain jobs require it. This is one of them. And but what I love is that, again, we try to pretend that black people were just the victims of everything. When in reality, it wasn't because of skin color, it was because they have to do police checks, and a certain demographic commits more crimes and therefore has a higher chance of having a police record. Pfft, mind fucking blown, right? Anyway, those are the facts about crime, about defunding the police and what it does, the body cam footage, BLM stuff, fake hate crimes, all that stuff. Alright, I hope the dumb people are offended because that's always my dream. Okay, bye.